All right, so you guys are probably wondering, yo, Myron, what's your whole take on this situation, etc. So, and I alluded about this in the space a little bit, but let's go right into it, right? So, Secret Service. Who is a Secret Service, right? You guys might be wondering. Well, first, let's look at the footage, right? Let's look at the footage first, and then I'll go into all this stuff.
I really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Let's enlarge this thing. See, he could feel it right then and there. He heard it, and then he felt it. Gets down. That's Secret Service standard procedure, jump on the president. Pandemonium, obviously.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up.
You can see him bleeding from the ear. She can't even find her holster. This chick right here. Adrenaline probably got to be pumping. Craziness. So go back to that again, right?
Said, take a look at what happened.
I think that burry of shots you guys heard there was the retaliation fire. So you go back, right? To Mario Newfall, right? Because we got the things there. Now you guys will be able to see it better. I'm telling you guys, X is better than a lot of these news stations. Was it on his? Or no, it was on Suleiman's maybe. Okay, let me go back here. Here we go. Hold on, let me unmute this.
To the point where if you go on those rooftops, you have to call them ahead of time because they will.
All right.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to
So there's a Secret Service guy.
really see something that said, take a look.
See, so he sees something, boom, right? You can see, he clearly sees something. He's like, what the fuck? And then,
What happened?
and he starts shooting.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look.
And at that point, this is probably where the shooter was about to pull the trigger and shoot. Because he probably shot at least one or two off first.
What happened?
And then he retaliates. You can see him. You can see from the recoil. Let me see if I can play this a little bit more slowed down. Try to get the highest quality we can. Then we'll go playback speed maybe 0.75.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look.
So he notices something.
What happened?
And then, boom, there's the first shot that he takes. And you can see from the recoil. Crazy.
And you know,
Crazy stuff, guys. So, let's go here. This is ABC News. Let's see what they're saying. These losers.
disagrees with. But I think it is no surprise, given how divisive the rhetoric in this country is now, given how divided our nation is, that we are unfortunately seeing, just shortly after a horrific incident like this, that there are, efforts to politicize some of this. How this plays out, of course, remains to be seen.
This is such a pivotal moment in the campaign as we move towards the conventions.
All right, so let me give you guys my take on this real quick while we wait for this, right? You got IBC News has 121,000 watching this right now, by the way. Probably probably one of their more viewed shows. So, okay, Secret Service, right? Let's go into this real fast, right? Because just so you guys know, because some of you guys here might be new viewers or whatever it may be, I used to be an agent with Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, right, back in the day. And HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, guys, is obviously under the Department of Homeland Security, and so is the United States Secret Service, right? So here we go. Here's the United States Secret Service, okay? This is their website. Let me go into their wiki real fast, because a lot of people think, oh, they're just dudes in suits. You know what I mean? So this is who they are, right? They're a federal law enforcement agency under the DHS with the purpose of conducting criminal investigations, protecting U.S. political leaders, their families, and visiting heads of state or government. Secret Service was, until 2003, part of the Department of Treasury due to their initial mandate of combating counterfeiting of U.S. currency. That was their original mission, guys. President Abraham Lincoln founded the agency on April 14, 1865. Hours before he was assassinated, the agency has protected U.S. presidents and presidential candidates since 1901, right? So, and they also do financial crime, guys. They do child pornography. They do a bunch of different crimes. I have been on Secret Service details before, guys. I remember the one that I went on that was most apparent to me was back in around 2017. I was involved in the UN protecting, I think it was the president of Congo. And what ends up happening, guys, is the Secret Service is a chronically understaffed agency, okay? They're an agency that can't keep agents. Why? Well, this is a dirty secret that they're not going to tell you. The job fucking sucks, guys. Just going to keep it 1,000 with you. Someone that actually is in this line of work, or used to be in this line of work, United States Secret Service is a job that simply sucks, right? You're working very long hours. You're doing protection details. You don't do criminal investigations like they say that you do. Only a minority of the Secret Service actually does criminal investigations. The majority of them are on protection details. And just so you guys know, all presidents have lifelong Secret Service details. It was taken away for a bit. Then, if I'm not mistaken, someone in the chat correct me, I think President Obama brought it back so that all presidents, regardless of how long they leave the office, have lifetime Secret Service details, right? Obviously, the Secret Service detail that you're going to have when you're not a sitting president is going to be significantly reduced from when you are a sitting president. But regardless, you do get some Secret Service protection. But the point I'm trying to make is, guys, is that they're a chronically understaffed agency. How do I know this? I know this because when we would help them with when there's rallies, etc., especially on political election years, they need HSI a lot. As you guys know, Homeland Security Investigations and Secret Service are both underneath the tree of Homeland Security, right? So we are the first agency that's tasked to help Secret Service and augment their protection details. When I was an agent back in 2016, I remember Trump was running for president. A bunch of our agents we lent out to the Secret Service to help them with these rallies. And unfortunately, guys, let's keep it a million. An HSI agent isn't going to be as aware of security protocol and as of, protection details like a Secret Service agent is. The way they usually do it when I was on the job was you would have a Secret Service group leader, and he would have a couple of his Secret Service guys, and then he'd have HSI agents, then you'd have the state police, and you'd have the local police involved in any type of protection details. And like I said before, keep in mind, guys, a presidential candidate isn't going to have the same level of Secret Service protection as a sitting president, right? And that's a big deal because when you don't have as big of a detail, well, you can't stretch out as many agents as you want, and you're not going to have the same resources when it comes to protection. And that is why, my friends, we saw what we saw earlier today, where a shooter was able to go ahead and get on top of that house like we saw before, which I think it was in Mario's profile, if we're not mistaken. And we'll pull this up again for you ninjas. Look at this. Like, this is crazy to me how close he was. Fuck that music. It's trash. Look at this. That's not far, guys. This is ridiculous to me that there was a shooter that was able to get up on top of a building like that, right? And have a clear, direct line to the president. And if you guys remember from the video that we saw before, his Secret Service guy was planted somewhere in this area here, so he had a line of sight to him as well. hold on, this fucking music. Right? So that's a direct line right to the president, guys. And Trump barely missed a bullet. Grazed his head, right? Barely missed it. And you can see here another image, right? So wild stuff, wild stuff. And, and I was saying this before, I'm not surprised, right, that this happened, right? Obviously, you guys know I'm a Trump supporter. I love Trump. But Secret Service has been trying to do a lot with very little for years, guys. Because like I said before, the attrition rates are so high because no one wants to work for Secret Service. If we're going to talk about the worst agencies to work for, guys, I would say Secret Service and the U.S. Marshals are the two agencies that suck the most to work for because they advertise that you get to do certain things, but really what you end up doing if you're going to be Secret Service is, you're going to be Marshals, you're going to be sitting in a courtroom all the time doing protection detail and managing the courtroom like a fucking bailiff, which sucks. Or if you're over here at Secret Service, you're going to be doing details. And you're not going to be on like a cool detail with like a president a lot of times. You'll be watching their kids. You'll be watching their fucking wife, whatever. And it just sucks, guys. It sucks. And this is why they're so stretched out because it's mandated now that Secret Service protection is extended to all former presidents and their immediate family members. So they obviously don't have the resource a lot of the times to protect everyone as efficiently. So I predict after this situation, they're going to absolutely be, beefing up Trump's security. They need to. There's no choice. They must. So yeah, let's see here. And guys, if you guys got questions or anything like that, go ahead and jump in the super chats. FNFSuperchat.com, as you guys know, is the best way. FNFSuperchat.com. We're live on Rumble, YouTube, and on what else? YouTube, Rumble, and X, obviously. We'll get back in here and listen to what they're saying on this space, but that's kind of my take on it. Let's listen a little bit to this ABC, and then we'll go back into the Twitter space.